All right, we're back for Money Monday at Parx. As weather is not delaying or canceling things, just waiting for some late scratches because some AEs are still in there. That I don't know what's going on over there, but it doesn't seem like they have everything figured out. But I'm sure they will. We have everything figured out, of course, over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Free track of the day today is my computer's a little bit slow. It's going to be Turf Paradise. Wherever you're following us, there is a link. Kindly use that so they know where you came from. You'll see over here, it should be sunny and warm over there in Arizona. And, I don't know, quite sure why my computer's slow, but it is, folks. There you see Run On Rowdy, top pick, first race today at Turf Paradise. Free track. Make sure you head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet to get that and take advantage of that. Terry, we're here today to talk about our picks, and they're going to be at Parx. Starting in race number 1, what's the story here?
6 furlongs, claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yes, indeed. Terry has got a lot of his best bets rolling right there. Hello, Mr. Don Johnson. How are you? Kind of horses that get rolling at 6 furlongs so far in 2025 at Parx. Horses that stock, although 41% have gone wire to wire. So absolutely you want to be middle forward. Post positions so far have proven to be mostly fair. Let's take a look at our 1,000 simulations in race 1, Terry, to see who has the best chance to get to the lead. And the best chances today to get a race you see in C-Zone that mirrors their best performances. Terry, who's going to have the lead when we get going today?
Okay, well, you put the sheet up there, and it should be the 8 who gets to the quarter pole first, and then the 2 has an overlay from 4-1 to 6-1. The 8 has an overlay from 5-2 to 5-1. All but the 1, 5, 6, and 9 have par plus numbers, and all but the 1 have a composite zone.
So par plus, in case you're new, and you look at Brisnet sheets, you'll see here that an 80% and 80, is the average winning speed figure for the conditions. So when we do our 1,000 simulations, 328 times. Dos de Oros, 2 times. The gold had a par speed figure. Along with our simulations, we take a look at the horses, you trip handicapping, where they want to be on the track. You got 3 that want to be pilots. Really no pilots or co-pilots. The 7 here, why stop there? That one's a lone PC. Those can be really dangerous because they can be really anywhere on the track. 2, 5, 6, 9, and 10 want to close. The 1 horse, Terry, that one not within 5 lengths of the winner so far in its career or recent races. Full contract, factor you and me in, and Bobby the Tank. Those are your front runners. That PC going to be in that mix as well. So this race looks like it's going to shape out just like everybody wants. As far as your late speed is concerned, financial strength has the most late strength. Starship Gotham, maybe today within 5 lengths of the leader at the end. Top total pace in a wide open race. Usually your top 4 produces about 7 out of 10 winners. You can see right then here, Terry, most of these horses within a very tight window. Pretty open race, yet we start with the same first 2.
Yeah, that's right. I like Bobby the Tank. The 4 finished 3rd versus Simpler in his last race. His best start speed is fast among today's starter. He has a high percentage winning trainer. Factor you and me in. Second choice finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. Drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 2 is my 3rd choice. He ran 2nd versus Similar in his last race. He has the highest figure in today's distance and a high percentage winning jockey. 5, Scamp Walker as my 3rd long shot. Has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And his best start speed is fast among today's starters. No additional bets for me.
I'm going to start with Bobby the Tank 2. 3 consecutive speed figure increases at Parx 5 times out, a 2nd, 3 thirds. But the trainer is cold as Siberia, which is not quite as cold as Chicago was last week. Number 3, factor you and me in, coming off the bench. 50-50 off the bench, but the works are dull, but they're expecting more because it is your favorite. Why stop there? Better across the board, better fractions in the 8 horse. Full contact might most likely pace setter off since May. Does have some nice workouts getting ready. And I don't have any bets for Benny in the bets either. But race number 1, they're all in. They're ready to go. So we did that spot on time. And off and running they go. Well, let's see. The 3 horse has darted out to the lead. That is factor you and me in. The 4 horse right in that mix as well with Bobby the Tank. Looks like those two are on the front. The 8 horse kind of dipped back a little bit. The 7 horse, that one is done, I would say. Pretty good likelihood. You're not going to see that one involved in the mix. The 8 horse is involved too early on. The 2 down on the rail at 6-1. They went to the opening quarter, not too fast, really, I don't think, for that track, 22 3/4 of a second. They continue to make their way around the turn. It looks like the 2 horse wants to get involved. The 8 horse is going to have a tough trip if he wants to go 3 wide. The 10 horse is the one that's rallying pretty good right now. 3 horse continues to lead. The 8 horse backing up. That is a tough place to be all the way out there. Here comes the 10. It's rolling at the end. I don't know that it's going to be able to go by him, but it looks like he's going to give it a whirl. The 3 horse is trying to corral itself. I think that 10 horse is going to be a menace here, Terry, in the opening race. But it does look like the 3 horse is going to hold on there. It's going to go 3, then 10, then a fast closing 9 for third, and then it's going to be close for fourth. But I think the 4 horse got it. So 3, 10, 4, 9. 3, 10, 4, 9 in your opener. And I think a lot of the card today is going to look just like that first race because a lot of them, I think, at least to me, looked kind of open, Terry.
I agree.
Let's see what we have here. Let's translate this to English. Greetings from Behuma, Venezuela. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in the world, wherever you are. Hey, say hi in the comment section like Private Ross and Don and Jose have. Let us know where you're at, what you're thinking about today, any horses you like anywhere on the planet. At the same time, if you have any comments, suggestions, jokes, whatever, share them with us. We love the interactivity. Makes the show go much faster. And it's more enjoyable for everybody, too. Let's talk about race number 2, Terry, now. This one starts the first pick 4. We'll have some thoughts on that for our good friend Don Johnson in just a minute.
Yeah, and it's going at 1 mile and 70 yards. A maiden claiming race, $16,000 claiming price. Purse $22,000 for maidens, 4-year-olds and upward.
At $170 so far in the new year in Ben Salem, PA. Early speed, 33% of the time. You get the lead, you keep the lead, and you go straight into the winner's circle. Bit of a rail discount for Magic Path. 2 and 3 have been under par as well. So the inside 3 so far have struggled a bit. 4 through 7 has been the best place to start. 8 and out, a little bit of a discount too. So middle out seems to be the preferred place to be, Terry, but you do have to have some speed in race 2, and who's got it there?
Well, the 5 should get there. It's got the most speed of anybody, although all of them show some kind of speed. 2 has an overlay from 6-1 to 8-1. The 8 has an overlay from 2-1 to 5-1. All but the 4 have par plus numbers, and all but the 6 have C zones.
So we talk about overlays in our simulation odds. In our 1,000 simulations, we calculate out who wins, right? And then from there, we determine our odds. And what we're hoping for is that the post-time odds will be higher than our simulation odds so we can get a little bit of value. Buy horses on sale, so to speak. In race 2, our trip handicapping, you got 2 pace setters over here, the 1 and the 5. The 3 managed to stay out there, so maybe one of those 2 can get that job done. The 7 and the 8, they want to be co-pilots. 2, 3, 6, and 9, they'll close. The 4, that one is not, again, within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line, at least of late. Early on, the 5 horse, that one has the early speed. So the one kind of down here, one might have to hustle too much. That 5 horse is 5 points clear of the horse on the 9 and the 8. That's 1 length, folks. At the end of the race, Cary Grant. Well, that one has a 9-point late speed advantage. That's a lot. We saw that 9 and 10 close hard. That late speed might be the way. Looking at the top total pace here, Terry, 9, 8, 5, and 1 are the top 4. Who are your top 4?
Well, I like the 5, Heat Alert. He ran second versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, lots of boxes marked off. Number 8, Magical Road, is my second choice, ran third in his last race as a favorite, but he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 38% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, and he has a high percentage winning jockey as well. The 1, Magic Path, is my third choice, has a trainer who wins 22% of the races in the second start with this trainer, and he has a high percentage winning jockey, and he can handle the distance. And then I like 4 as my long shot bad advice. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and the longer distance should help. I'm going to play the first Don Johnson Miami Vice pick 4. I'm going to use the 1-5-8 with the 1-2-5, with the 2-6, with the 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. I think that's a $45 ticket.
3 by 3 by 2 by 5. Yes, indeed. That is how that works out. I'm going to start with the 5-horse 8. We're starting with the same exact again in here. This one's going to be out front. Heat alert. Well, he'll definitely have the heat when the race gets started. Last time out, top last race speed figure, 4 points clear of anybody else, and drops in class today. Magical Road, the 8-horse. That one, Terry, is our simulation favorite, it looks like. Third start after a layoff. Missed last time out as your 50-cent favorite. So maybe rebounds. Number 9, Fully Committed. This one's run at Parx 5 times. Has a couple of seconds, a couple of thirds in there. Going to close today and getting some extra distance. Maybe that can be the winning recipe. And then I have the 7 in there. Make My Day Charlie is a class dropper. Was a very difficult call for me over the 1-horse. I think it has a little bit more upside, a little bit better works, a little bit lighter raced than the 1-horse. So, again, flip of a coin. My pick 4, really couldn't find a race. I only wanted to go 2 deep in. So I just went 3 by 3 by 3 across the board. So 5, 8, 9, 1, 5, 7, 2, 3, 9, 5, 6, and 8 for my Don Johnson pick 4. I don't understand 1 fixed, 7 fixed. In which race are you talking about, my friend?
Probably
Race 1? Mm-hmm. Are you talking about yesterday's football game, Private Ross? Where people clearly crossed lines of scrimmage, not on 1 play, but 2 consecutive plays. Everyone's talking about that Josh Allen, but if you watch the catch, the play before that, that ball goes well past the 40-yard line, and then they still moved it back a yard. I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say, but I don't know that they necessarily are doing that stuff on purpose, because you just don't know which plays are going to turn out. I mean, clearly, not giving a team a first down is a big play, but it just does seem to me, and I know Terry knows this all too well, too personally, it's still probably a wound that's too deep, but it does seem like the Chiefs get like any 50-50 call, 100% of the time it's going their way.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Race number 3, Terry. Let's see if we can make some calls that go our way here.
Okay, in race 3, we've got a 5.5 furlong maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, purse $19,000 for registered Pennsylvania bred maidens, fillies, and mares, 4-year-olds and upward.
Another thing I don't get about that game, and I just the inconsistency in the officiating, right? You get Travis Kelce, who's kind of a jackass, right?
Yeah.
He gets in somebody's face acting like a jackass. Somebody comes over and clears him out. He gets the penalty. The jackass laughs about it, right? And then when they kick that go-ahead field goal, you remember Mahomes got sacked, and that, if you remember. But the guy from the Bills had the guy from Kansas City rip his helmet off, and there's no foul for that at all. I mean, I just don't get why they get so many calls.
I know. All
right, 5.5 furlongs, Terry. Enough about that. Early speed, 3 of the 6 races so far in 2024, 5, excuse me, have gone wire to wire. The rail is 1/3 of the races. 2 and 3 have been kind of fair. 4 through 7, they got to do some work to catch up. 8 and out has been a bonus, so maybe a little barbell. Some speed on the inside, some speed on the outside. Terry, it looks like the speed is on the inside.
It certainly is. The 1 has a lot of speed. All but the 5 have some speed, but that 1 shows lots. So it should get that quarter pole first, as long as it gets out of that gate okay. And the 1 has an overlay as well, 3 to 1, 4 to 1. The 2's overlay is 9 to 5 to 9 to 2. And the 4 has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 15 to 1. All but the 6 and 7 have par plus numbers, and all but the 5 and 6 have C zones. And that 1 and 7 have good Q30s, especially the 1.
Yeah, the 1, the Q30 is queering points. He has 44% of the queering points. Yeah, usually that's a pretty good sign. Look at this horse, Terry. Green. The only thing is the par plus. Let's see if the 1's going to have the lead according to Trip. That's a lone E, Terry. The 2 horse. Look at that. Lone P. 4, 6, and 7. So far, those 3 haven't been within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. Hell, just give it to the 5. He's a first-time starter, really. The 1 horse is the fastest horse by about a length and a quarter. At the end of the race, it looks like the 7 horse. Lino's Silver Gal. There you go. I got that right. That one is your top late speed horse, about 2.5 lengths quicker than everybody else. And then if you look at your top total pace horse, that 7 is 10 points clear, Terry. I think that means it will be within 5 lengths today. Hell, it might be even the winner's circle. What do you think?
Well, I'd go in with that first-time starter, Kate's Warrior Heart, the 5. She's a first-time starter, as I said. Breeding suits today's distance. She has a high percentage winning trainer who has 27% of the races with first-time starters, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I'm going with the 2, Picardi. She finished her She finished in her last race in the mud. Poorly, and appears to illustrate that she doesn't like the off track. If the track is in better condition, she will do better, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. That 1, Be My Queen, the Speed Queen. She's finished in the money 3 out of 6 starts at Parx Racing. She has an early foot, so the shorter distance will be a plus, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. She's my 3rd choice. The 7, My Long Shot, drops in class today, has a highest last speed rating, and has a trainer who wins 33% of the races when bringing a horse back to race after 90 plus days away. And they added Lasix. No additional bets for me here.
Be My Queen is going to be on the lead, and it's going to be my top pick. Speed matters, rail matters. This horse has the both of them. Kate's Warrior Heart, well, that 5 horse really not much to beat in this race, to be honest with you. My concern, though, is this is a maiden claiming 10,000. It's been said that you don't debut quality horses in maiden claimers, and this is about as low as it gets. So it is kind of a vote on what the trainer thinks about the horse. Lino's Silver Gal. That horse probably is the best horse in the race, but it's been off for more than a year. Catching that first Lasix with all that late speed, if that horse gets off to a decent start, folks, watch the odds board, look out. And then finally, Imagine Aaron. Well, there's really not much in this race to my liking, but it is a maiden special weight dropper, the only one in the field. That alone merits attention. Again, a race that I think can go any which way, which I think is pretty much the MO for the day today at the Parx Racecourse. Race number 4, Terry's next on our list of things to do. So let's talk about that one.
All right. 6 furlongs, optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $26,000 for 4-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less and which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $16,000 and which have never won 3 races.
So 6 furlongs, as we mentioned, that's a distance that does favor tactical speed. Still, a whole lot of horses so far in 2025 have found their way to the winner's circle via the wire-to-wire route. Post positions are mostly fair. I think this looks like another wide open race to me, Terry. Maybe we can get some advantages if we have a little bit of early speed. Again, we find one that looks quicker than most.
Yeah, that 4 has the most speed of all of these horses. All of them have speed, but the 4 looks the best. And then the 2 has an overlay 3-1, 4-1. 8 has an overlay from 6-1 to 15-1. And 9 overlay from 5-1 to 6-1. All but the 7 have par plus numbers, and they all have C zones, especially that last place, the 9th horse.
Yeah, 80%. Only 2 of them over 50%. That's typically what we're looking for. 50% or better on the C zone. It means in 50% of the races, today's pace should look a lot like their best performances. In the 4th race, well, you don't really have any horse that's lead dependent. The 2 and the 3, they can pilot or co-pilot. 5 wants to be a co-pilot. Everybody else kind of middle back. You got a pair here with some versatility. This race, because everybody's sort of middle back, get forward, you should have an edge. Looks like Anna's Got Style, a little bit quicker than the PC horse. They're both PC horses, so they're both left arrow-ish type horses. At the end of the race, Humble Joe, about 3/4 of a length quicker than everybody else. Very tight race in here, Terry, it looks like to me. You have all these horses here, the 3, 4, 5, and 9 within 3 points. A little bit of a drop-off from there. So maybe you can find an edge with one of these horses and put it at the top of your ticket. Is that what you did?
I like the 2, Sunday Spirit. He has won 2 races in a row and goes for a hat trick, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I like the 6, I Felt Lucky Tonight. He finished in the money in 8 out of the last 9 starts, winning 2 of those, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And it's got style. The 4 is my 3rd choice, won his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then Try Harder is my long shot, finished has finished in the money in 8 out of the last 10 starts, winning 2 of the starts, and has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. Second, Miami Vice, pick 4. I think there's a wide open race. I'm going to go with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, with the 3, 10, and finish up with a 5, 7. I believe that's a $50 ticket.
Yeah, 5x5 by 2x2. I like the 9 horse. Cisco Kid, that high C zone type in there. Our good friend, I wonder where he's been. Christopher D'Souza might like that. But if that horse just runs his last race, he's the winner. And it looks like the horse is going to continue to be sharp because he's got a bullet workout on January the 15th. So that horse maybe putting back-to-back efforts in. Try Harder. That one's been in the money. 6 of 7 races at the distance. 6 of 9 times at Parx. And another one that has a bullet workout prepping for today. Pretty decent Q30 number in there too. Sunday Spirit has won a couple in a row, as you mentioned, Terry. Been off since November. I was just a little worried about those workouts. They were a little on the slow side. I don't know, maybe just the wintertime blahs. And then finally, Anna's Got Style. That one is a PC type. Should be up front. So perhaps one that can get out there and stay out there if the track speed is holding today. Again, I couldn't really figure out a race where I wanted to put 2 horses in, so I just went 3x3x3. 2, 3, 9, 5, 6, 8, 3, 7, 11, 1, 3, 5. I don't know. That can't be a Noah pick 4 because Noah was 2x2x2. What do you call 3x3x3, right?
Yeah.
All right. So if you haven't done so already, Terry, tomorrow we're going to do Parx. Wednesday and Thursday we'll do Gulfstream Park. For Foreign Friday, we're going to go back to Sha Tin for Hong Kong. You never want to miss those Foreign Fridays. I don't know. Tom had a huge pick, I think, trifecta to get us started on Friday night. A big exacta as well. To make sure you don't miss any of that stuff, Terry, what's the wisest thing anybody can do?
Well, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It's very easy to do. Go ahead and hit the bell so you're notified about all the programs we got coming up. And then copy the link down at the bottom and share it with everybody you know so they can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites such as TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, X, and Facebook, and give us at Horse Race the number 2 day, and give us a thumbs up or a like. That'll help us out quite a bit. And keep these comments coming on during the shows. We love to see them and interact with you guys or girls, and it helps us out a lot too. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. If you're watching on Twitter, do us, or X, whatever you want to call it, do us a favor right now. Take your mouse, hit that retweet button, follow us if you haven't. Our goal for 2025, and you can help us get there, only you can help us get there really, is to get 10,000 subscribers on YouTube and 10,000 followers on X. Our understanding is when we get to those numbers, both of those companies unleash a lot more tools that help accelerate our audience growth. So, Terry, well, acceleration could be important in this race. Well, we'll talk about that profile of a winner, but right now you're going to fill us in on the conditions.
Okay, it's the 5th race. It's a mile and 70 yards. It's claiming price of $10,000, purse $26,000. For fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since October 27th, claiming races for $8,000 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
So a mile and 70 yards on the Ben Salem track does tend to favor horses with early speed, as I mentioned. 1 out of 3, gate to wire, right into the winner's circle. The real discount for Miss Shamita might have to work a little bit harder than the 6-1 odds might pretend. 2 to 3, or portend, excuse me. 2 and 3 play under par. 4 through 7, it's the best place to be so far to start the year. 8 and out, a little bit of a discount. So maybe a little bit of mid-race speed, Terry, could work out. And this does look like it'll be a little bit more competitive than some of the previous races at the start.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of speed in here. All but the 1, 6, 7, and 9 have speed, but the 11, 2, and 8 have the best or most speed in here. So they could go head to head to the quarter pole. The 1 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 6 to 1. 2 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 12 to 1. All but the 3, 7, and 9 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Our race shape for the 5th spot today looks a lot like, well, pretty bunched up in here, Terry. Still, most of your horses middle back, but it's pretty balanced in there. Just the 6 horse kind of giving a little bit more weight to the ones in the back. So Let's see if everybody's going to sort of get the race they want. The 2 should be up front. The 11 should be up front. The 8 should be up front. The 5 should be up front. The 3 looks like it'll be in a stalking position. The only horse that looks kind of out of order maybe is the 4. Maybe a little left arrow action, a closer. That'll be a little bit closer to the front perhaps than he's used to. At the end of the race, Amy Mule. Poor girl, they named horse Amy Mule. All right, that one will be closer. It'll be coming pretty good at the end. Really not all that far off the pace, except for maybe Summer at the Shore. At the end of the race, you got the 2, the 5, the 6, and the 1. But look at this, Terry. All of these horses after this one, which has got about a 6-point edge, really a tight group in here. So maybe the 6 and then everybody else?
Yeah, it could be. I like the 8, though, as my top choice. Summary Judgment. She has won 4 races out of the last 9 starts, and she has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. And then the 5, my second choice, won her last race by more than 9 lengths, and she has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. Then I like that 6, Amy Mule. She likes Parx racing, being in the money 50% of the time, winning 33% of the starts, and the distance won't cause any problems. They've been in the money 67% of the time at today's distance and won 67% of those starts. Dixie Groove, the 7, is my long shot. She's increased her speed rating, and in the last 3 races, her early speed running style helps her chances, so the shorter distance could help. No additional bets for me here.
Yeah, again, we start with the same trifecta this time. Summary Judgment, the 8 horse for me. Consistent performer, the owner and the trainer, that's the same dude. Biggest class dropper in the field. Number 5, Rummin' It. Maybe that one should be on top because it's almost an unbeatable combination of Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. The smashing win last time out. Similar levels today. Number 6, Amy Rule. That is that top total pace horse. That one is 6 points clear of everybody else. Does have a C-zone above 50%, so should like what it gets today. And then Summer at the Shore. Maybe a little bit of a long shot. And here it is, our simulation favorite at 5-2. And the one thing that's interesting about this horse is it's beaten most of these in here before. First off the bench after a little bit of time off was kind of a stinker. But that's not an unusual pattern for that horse. Usually the horse finds more in the second start after layoff. So let's see if that pattern continues today with the 2 horse, Summer at the Seashore. We'll move our way to the back half of this 10-race card, starting in race number 6. Terry, they're going to run 6.5 furlongs.
Yeah, and it's a claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, purse $26,000 for 4-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since October 27th. Claiming races of 8,000 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
6.5 furlongs, the type of horse that finds the winner's check. Closers, but still 4 out of 10. So it looks to me like a barbell race. Either be on the lead or be in the back. Don't be in the middle. A little bit of a rail discount for Book Runner. 2 and 3 has been by far the best place to be. 4 through 7 got discounted. 8 and out has been fair. So if you're number 2 or number 3, Terry, and you're fast, you probably got a chance, but it looks like most of the speed's to the outside.
Yeah, it is, but it makes it kind of an anyone's guess race. All of but the 1 have speed, but the outside horses have the most speed. 2, 4, 5, and 7 have the best par plus numbers. And I'm sorry, I got the wrong notes here. 2 is an overlay from 7-1 to 12-1. 4 is an overlay from 10-1 to 12-1. 5 overlay from 7-2 to 20-1. And the 7's overlay is 7-1 to 8-1. All but the 6 have par plus numbers, and all but the 1 and 4 have C zones.
Yeah, we'll go real quick because the race is coming up in a minute. So let's take a look at the race shape for race 6. Well, pretty balanced. A couple of horses stand out to me are the 7 and 8 in here, is they do have a little bit of versatility in their running style. A lot of speed in here that's pretty similar. So it should be contentious, but maybe line up in order. 2 horse might be one that surprises. Looking at the late speed, Terry, we have Nifty. That one's 5 points better than everybody else, but probably going to trail the field. Top total pace, your top 4 horses, 8, 3, 11, and 7. Usually the winner comes from there. Lately, your winner's been your best bet. Terry, tell us all about it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, my best bet today, the 3. I'm going for a 7th day in a row of my best bet winning. Awesome for sure was won 4 races out of the last 5 starts, running second versus Tupper in his last race as a favorite, but has a trainer wins 37% of the races when bringing in favorite backdrops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer. And then jockey. And then the 10 likes Parx Racing, been in the money 100% of the time, winning 50% of the starts. At today's distance, been in the money 100% of the time, winning 33% of the starts. Nifty, the 11 drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. The best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and a high percentage winning trainer. The long shot is the 1 book runner. He finished third versus Tougher in the last race, which is a high percentage winning trainer and has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to bet a $12 to win, 20 to place on the 3. I'm going to bet a $5 exacta box 3, 10, 11. I'm going to bet the $10 exacta 3 on top with the 1, 10, 11, and an $8 daily double 3 with the 5.
I think the 3 probably gives you a good chance to get another one in there. Head away from being unbeaten in 3 at Parx. My man Woody, the 7 horse, that one, Terry, was better with all of its race internals from start to finish. If it reruns its last race, well, it probably would win. It tends to pair top efforts, and last time out, the horse popped. Number 11, Nifty. That one, probably the most consistent horse in the race, does have the most late speed by about a length over everybody else. And then the 6 horse in there was a tough call for me over that 1 horse in there, Terry. But guess who's back? Paco! And the last race for this was better than it looks with better fractions. No bets for me as they line up for race number 2. Boy, our timing today is pretty good. The 5 horse right now, Heat Alert, that speed monster, is your favorite at 3-2. So taking some heavy action if you're looking for value. Terry, let's see where we find some value. Looks like the 8 horse is the best value right now. We have it at 2-1. The bettors have it at 4-1. The 1 or the 6. The 2 horse would be a little bit of value in there too. We have it at 6-1. It's at 14-1. So maybe the 2-8 exacta box for a couple of bucks could prove to be a winning combination in terms of an exacta payout. They are off. They are running. The 5 horse and the 4 horse have taken to the lead as we thought they might. The 9 horse is in that mix as well, but it's going to have a terrible trip because that one is going to be 9-3 wide. It's really not where you want to be going through the turn. I just don't understand why jockeys do that. The 4 horse, Bad Advice. Well, that one has made its way to the lead. Right behind it is the 5 horse, Heat Alert. So I wonder if they felt like they're going too fast. Well, 24.5 seconds, not all that fast, Mr. Terry. They come down the backstretch. There's a whole lot of horses out there competing for the lead. That 9 horse is really going to run a crazy race. Is that the 9 out there or the 8 out there now? That's the 8 horse out there. So I don't understand what they're I don't know. They have this thing all goofed up on the screen. So the 4 and the 9, the 5 is kind of backing up a little bit. Or is that the 5? I can't tell. I'm doing my best job to screw up the way this thing looks. So the 5 and the 4 are competing. The 8 horse is kind of backing up a little bit. Looks like the 5 horse is going to take the lead over the 4 horse in just a minute. The 3 horse is coming up the rail. That's the one that's going to be troublesome, I think. As the 5 horse has gotten in front of the 4 horse. The jockey really hasn't asked him to go just yet. So I got a feeling this is going to be one of those races where the 5 horse is going to win. The only question is going to be the margin of victory. The 8 horse is trying to find its way up the rail there and get itself into second place. Again, kind of a weird run for that horse all around. But it is one of those races where it's just margin of victory, Terry, for the 5 horse. It's going to go 5, then 3, then 8, then 7. So 5, 3, 8, 7. 5, 3, 8, and 7. We're both alive. Our top pick makes it to the finish line first. Hopefully that's a theme for the day.
Yep.
Don't take the train in Chicago after midnight. There's probably other times you don't want to be on a train there either. All right, so race number 7 is what's next for you and I, Terry. So let's talk about the ongoings in the beginning of the late pick 4.
Okay, well, let's see. It's going to go stretching out to 1 mile and 70 yards. It's an allowance race, $41,000 purse for registered Pennsylvania-bred fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won Pennsylvania restricted race or races other than a maiden claiming starter race.
So $170, we talk about it a couple times already today. Third of the horses, they win on the front. There's a bit of a rail discount, 2 and 3 under par. 4 through 7 is the best place to be. 8 and out, discounted again. So some early speed, Terry, could come in handy. 2 horses in a row have got to the lead, kept the lead, or been at least close to the lead. Who's going to do that here?
Well, let me see here. It looks like it's a who knows race because they all have some speed there, and a lot of them are pretty close to one another. And then the 1 has an overlay from 9 to 2 to 12 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 12 to 1. And the 5 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 6 to 1. All but the 6 have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones.
And our race trip handicapping, well, looks like a couple horses in here, Terry, I'm looking at. The 1 and the 8, you got a lone E, you got a lone PC type. Those lone PCs can be really dangerous. Look out for them. Otherwise, the 5 and the 10 also have some versatility. Pretty balanced shape here. Moon Boots. The 3 horse might be the quickest. That 1 horse, the Goddess of Snakes, woof, it needs the lead and doesn't get the lead. Could have some problems, but if it does get the lead, Terry, does have some late speed to go along with the plus-sized Courage. Our top total pace horses in here are the 9, the 5, the 1, and the 10. A little bit better than the rest, but in here, Terry, all but the 7 horse are within 9 points, within 2 lengths. Important not to get forced wide. Important not to get boxed in, not get blocked. Terry, who has the best chance of avoiding all of that trouble?
I like the 5 True Phenomenon. She won her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. So Fully Sue, the 7 is my second choice. She finished 3rd versus Sim in her last race. She has a high percentage winning jockey. The 1, the Goddess of the Snakes. She likes Parx racing, been in the money 44% of the time, winning 12% of the starts. She likes the distance, as she's been in the money 50% of the time, winning 13% of the starts. The 9 is my long shot, plus size Courage. She finished 3rd versus similar last race. She has won 1 race out of 2 starts at Parx Racing. I'm going to play the last pick 4, Miami Vice, Don Johnson. I'm going to use the 5-7 with the 1, 3, 10, 11. With the 2, 3, 8, with the 3, 6, 7, 11. I think that's a $48 ticket.
Indeed, I'm going to play $48 ticket myself. I have the 5 horse at the top of my list as well. True Phenomenon, really consistent performer. I like that. Parx, 8 times out, a couple of wins, a couple of seconds, a couple of thirds, so should perform well. The Goddess of Snakes, well, 2 horses have hit par at this level, Terry. Goddess of Snakes is one of them. Did run better early pace, did run faster fractions last time out. The other horse that has a par race on the resume is Moon Boots, the 3, much like the 1. And this one has a bullet workout prepping, so maybe we'll see some of that back class. And then plus size Courage, the 9 horse. I'm not the biggest fan of horses that come in from Penn, as you know, Terry. You did mention it does have a win at Parx, but the other race, it was a nose away from winning, so it has performed fairly well there. Yeah, I might pick 4. I'm going to start with 4 horses, the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 9, and then 3 and 11 in the next race. 1, 2, 3, 8, and then 3, 6, and 8. That's $48 as well. Let's take a look at race number 8 and what it's all about, Terry.
Okay, then race 8. I can get there. 6 furlongs, claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races.
6 furlongs does favor some tactical speed. You do want to be middle forward, but you get to the lead, that's a swell place to be. 41% of the time in 2025, the leader at the quarter-mile marker was the leader at the finish line. Really no big deal breakers or deal makers post position wise. So the number one thing, Terry, is speed in race number 8. And well, looks like that's all on the outside too.
It is. It's the 12, 11, and 8 all have the speed here. They could go head to head to that quarter pole. So it's just a matter of who gets there first. 5 has an overlay of 7 to 1 to 8 to 1. The 8 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to, let's see, 6 to 1. And the 10 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 5 to 1. All but the 2 and 7 have par plus, and all of them have C zones.
Indeed. Let's see how they're going to line up when they get out and running. Well, the 8 horse there, Terry, is a lone EP horse. That's the first thing that stands out to me. Java's Lucky Lady. Keep an eye out on that. Most of these horses want to be middle back, so maybe a little edge to the front runners. I mean, that's the track bias anyway. Shake it up, baby. The Taylor Swift horse, I guess. That one's going to be out front. That's why they keep giving the Chiefs those calls. But pretty competitive up in here. Look at all these numbers that are pretty close to one another. Late speed, Miss M&M. That one will be coming the swiftest at the end. A little bit of a drop off after the 3 and 10. So maybe if those horses are near the front, they might be hard to hold off. The 3, Annie Works Too Much, is your top total pace horse. Then those outside horses, Terry. So 3, 10, 13, 11. Yeah, those look like cryptic codes to me. What do you think, Private Ryan? What do you think, Terry? Private Ross, excuse me.
I like the 3. Annie Works Too Much. Traveled to Aqueduct to try a race, but it was way over her class. And now she returns to Park Racing, where she's won 2 of her 3 starts here. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 11, Shake It Up Baby. She is 1 for 1 at Parks Racing, and the distance won't be a problem. She's been on the money 80% of the time, winning 6%, 60% of the races at today's distance, has a high percentage winning trainer. I like 10, Denali Ray. Finished 3rd in her last race, and her best start speed is fast among today's starters. Then I like the 1, Happy Birthday Corey. She drops in class today and switches to high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me, as I'm out of money.
Race 8, that's the one, not the 11. Just accidentally hit it a couple times, I think. Terry. All right, I like the 3 horse in here too. Annie Works Too Much. It was a real tough call between that and the 11. It's a neck away from winning all 3 of its races at Parx. And today, it's taking a 2.5 length class drop. That's a pretty big drop. The 11, Shake It Up Baby. That's Mikel Sanchez, Jamie Ness. That is a dynamic Batman Robin duo, no question about it. You pointed out that the horse won its race at Parx, but you didn't point out that it won by 8 lengths, Terry, or some big margin. So perhaps an easy race. Number 5, Take Time to Dream. This one was a Naira track dropper that found her Parx form last out. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. And then finally the 8, Java's Lucky Lady. That is that lone EP type there. Should be close to the pace. Showed better pace early on and late in its last effort. I'm going to do a $20 exacta box. I know, big field here. What the hell? 3 and the 11. Just feel like they're cut above the rest, Terry. Let's see if that's indeed how it plays out. 2 races to go. So the late daily double. But before we late daily double, remember, the best part of the daily double is getting a winner in the first leg. And, well, certainly it is great to get winners in first legs. It's also great to get them for free. Guaranteed tip sheets, free track of the day, Turf Paradise. There's a link wherever you follow us, or you can just go on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, but we prefer you use the link wherever you follow us so they know where you came from. And then, of course, when the show is over at horseracingtoday.net, right here in the middle of the screen, you will find a recap of today's show, all of our race notes, along with the replay of the show. On YouTube, we will timestamp every single race so you can come back and watch them at your leisure. You want to watch why Terry thinks that horse is its best bet for the 8th day in a row or 7th day in a row, whatever the streak is. You can come back and watch that. You'll see the tile for that race. Just click on it. And then while you're at Horse Racing Today, right there, the HRT gear. Click on that. Head on over to Horse Racing Today. Get yourself some T-shirts. The summer is coming, folks. Doesn't feel like it, but it was 33 degrees here over the weekend, Terry, or 34. And when you have -2, 34 feels like T-shirt weather, folks. And today, you can get them for 15% off. Last day only. So make sure you take advantage of that. Terry, let's go about getting set for race number 9 and the late daily double.
All right, it's 7 furlongs, optional claiming race, $50,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to be possibly claimed, like the one is, Jet Set. And then $42,000 purse. It's for registered Pennsylvania-bred 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 Pennsylvania restricted races, other than a maiden claiming or starter or claiming price of $50,000.
So to look to see who's in the race right there, you see 50,000. Get set. You can buy that one if you want. Let's see, are they all in for a price? Drop line is one that you could not buy if you wanted to buy it. So there you go. That's how you know which horses are in for a price today. We do know that at 7 furlongs, closers so far have done pretty well at the Parx track. At least in the few races that they've done at 7 furlongs. Still a healthy number of 22%. Get to the front and keep it. A little bit of a rail bias for the $50,000 to be bought in for a price. Get set. 2 and 3 get bonus as well. 4 through 7, that's been really rough. 8 and out, that one's bonus as well. So pretty much 4 through 7, kind of crossed those off so far in 2025. But anywhere else is fine. Terry, who's going to be on the lead here?
Well, you can see there the 3 and the 8 have the most speed, and they could go head to head to that quarter pole because they're very close in speed status. And then the 3 has an overlay from 3 to 2 to 4 to 1. All show par plus and all show C zones.
Our trip handicapping points out that only the 6 and 3 want to be forward. All these horses here have a lot of versatility. The 2 wants to close. So it really is going to be dependent on how fast these 2 go, what this race looks like. At the start of the race, it does look like Drop Line is much quicker than Prince of Rain. If Prince of Rain needs the lead, and that's the pace he shows today, maybe you can forget about that one. But you can't forget about it if it's close, because, look, it has the most late speed along with the closer, Young Squire. Those 2, if either one of them is close coming out of the turn, could be hard to hold off. That Young Squire is our top total pace horse. And then the 3-horse Drop Line, and then a 5-point drop from there, Terry. So it looks like the 2, the 3, maybe the 1 and the 8 in that mix. Otherwise, I think another competitive race, we have the 8 on top.
I do. Notice of Action finished in the money on all 5 career starts, won 3 other races, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning jockey. Drop Line to 3 is my second choice, has won 3 his last 3 races, and he has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. Young Squire, the 2, ran second versus in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 1 Gets Set likes Parx race. He's been in the money 50% of the time here, 13% wins, and the distance won't cause any problems. Been in the money 78% of the time, and 13% of those starts he was a winner. He's the long shot for me. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
Notice of Action is that PC type in there. Should be on the chase early on. Been off a long time, though, so at least the last workout was pretty sharp. Drop Line should be forward. Did have an enormous win last time out. Usually big races are followed by another good effort. Young Squire, this one doesn't usually make 3 starts in a row. It is today, so it's that classic 3rd start after a layoff. And then finally Gets Set. Again, Mikel Sanchez, Jamie Ness. It's a duo that you can never overlook at Parx. There's rail. You can't overlook that at the distance. And you don't, and the distance does well for this horse too. 9 times out, 2 wins, 2 seconds, 3/3. So a fan of the quirky 7 furlongs. You can just look right here on the odds. The odds maker didn't really know what to do. So I felt like this is a good race to do a trifecta box. So I'm going to do it for $1 with the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 8. Hopefully catch them in descending order, the highest odds first. Last race for today, Terry, will be race number 10. But before we talk about Parx today, just a reminder, we will do Parx tomorrow. We'll do Gulfstream Wednesday, and on Thursday. Friday will be Hong Kong for Foreign Friday. Terry, to tune in for all of that, there are a couple of easy things that you can do.
Well, just go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that little bell so it notifies you about any of the programs we got coming up. And then copy the link below and share it with everybody you know so they can come and check us out. Go to our social sites such as X, Facebook, Threads, Instagram,
all of them.
Blue Sky. There's so many of them, but you can go check us out at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a thank you. And a like, I mean. And then go ahead and keep the comments coming on the right-hand side. So we enjoy getting them. That really helps us out a lot. So anyway, that's it for me.
All right. Well, Terry, you get to keep going now. So 6 furlongs for this race, for race number 10.
That's right. And it's 6 furlongs, and it's claiming race, $5,000 claiming price. Purse $18,000 for fillies and mares, warriors and upward, which have not won 2 races since July 27th.
6 furlongs does favor horses that are forward 41% of the time in 2025. The horse has won on the lead. Really, again, no deal makers or deal breakers post position wise, but it is a deal maker or deal breaker to be fast, Terry, and looks like a couple of them here have the most speed.
That's right. As you can see there, there's 3 of them that do. The 5, 6, and 11. So it could be head to head with those, although everybody but 1 have speed in here. And then the 3 has an overlay from 5 to 1. 3 to 1 to 6 to 1. And 5 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 10 to 1. 3 and 11 have the best par plus numbers, and then all but the one have C zones.
For the last time today, 5, 12, and 13. I feel like there'll be some scratches in this race at some point, but right now, that's the way it looks. Well, speed should have the edge because most everybody, again, wants to be towards the back. At the start of the race, it does look like Road to Dreams, Wishing on a Prayer. Those two are a little bit quicker than everybody else, although very competitive with a whole bunch of scores in the mid-80s and up. This race probably going to use some late legs, so Swell will be coming at the end a little bit quicker than everybody else, but that one might be off the screen at the start of the race. It does have the most late speed. And finally, you got the 8, the 11, the 3, and the 6. We'll also hear the 5 horse. So those 5 within 2 points, about 3/4 of a length of a drop from there, Terry. Well, this one looks like it's a competitive one to end it. And we both started with the same horse.
Yeah, I like the 6 Montpellier. She takes a big class drop today, and she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 3 Between Dreams ran second versus Tougher in her last race, and she has the highest last speed rating, drops in class today. The 11 is my third choice, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Captivating Tara, she's my long shot, won her last race, has a high speed figure at today's distance, and a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
5 is the only one that made a mistake. Should be 3-1. We have it at 5-1. So maybe we should be 4-1. Split the difference. I got the 6 horse Mon Petit Ciao is my top pick too. This one is a class and track dropper. Should improve in the second start after a layoff. Shell Bell, the 8 horse, making its third start after a layoff. The last race was better than it looks. It ran the same final time it did in the prior start, which was at this level. So going to drop in class back to a level where it won. Between Dreams ran the top last race speed figure. That was 5 points better than the next closest horse. Also your top par plus contender. And then finally, the 11 horse Gavinci. That one drops in class. Won the last time he ran at this level. $1.50 trifecta box. 3, 6, 8, and 11. Here are our picks for today. So far, the 5 horse won the first race. Who won the first race, Terry, again? I know the 5 horse won this race.
Yeah, I think it was
the 3 horse. Yes.
3, yeah, 3.
And the 5, yes. That's how it's gone so far. Here's the way we see the rest of the day over here. Terry, which race is your best bet again?
6th race, number 3 horse.
6, the 3 horse. So keep an eye out on that one for sure. Again, we'll timestamp everything. Free track again today. Guaranteed tip sheet is Turf Paradise. There's a link everywhere where you follow us. In just a few minutes at horseracingtoday.net, we'll post all of our comments. Make sure you head on over to that along with our thoughts. We will timestamp every race here on YouTube, so make sure you do that. Make sure if you haven't already, take your mouse, one quick click to follow us, subscribe, and to share our content. We would greatly appreciate that. All right, Terry, we're going to get ready for Parx tomorrow. But before we do that, any final words of wisdom from you today?
Yeah, just have a great week this week. Stay safe. Give your loved ones a hug and a kiss, and tell them how you feel about them, especially if you love them, because you never know what's going to happen. Go ahead and see us tomorrow.
Indeed. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this Money Monday, we certainly hope it's filled with God's grace, God's favor. Every single thing you do until we get back together again ends up in
the winner's circle.
Yes, indeed. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, make it a blessed day.